Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the flag raising ceremony, launching of PNP One Network and PNP email system, presentation of awards, and pensioner Kksk project at the National Headquarters, Philippine National Police. Joining us through Zoom platform are Senator Cantilo Lacson, guest of honor and speaker, P-staff, regional directors from police regional offices, directors, NSUs, and P-staff. All rise, please. The ceremony will now begin. With pride and honor, let us sing the National Anthem. Invocation will be delivered by Police Brigadier General Jason Ortizo, Director, Chaplain Service.
Let us bow our heads and be aware of God's loving presence in our midst. Let us pray. Almighty God, we come together in adoration of your glory as we hold our flag-raising ceremony and the launching of the Pensioner Kksk project, as well as the One Network and the PNP email system, and the awarding to our personnel. Above all, thank you, Lord, for the saving grace we received from you that kept us from not becoming weary of the challenges we met in the performance of our sworn duties and responsibilities. Now, we humbly beseech you to grant us the abundance of your blessings, inasmuch as we continue to seek advancement for the betterment of our service. Empower us, dear God, with your strength, that we would persevere on our sincere step to foster camaraderie and fellowship between PNP active personnel and the pensioners as we also embrace digital transformation to adapt to the new normal through the full use of information and communication technology. Send forth also your special blessings upon our guest of honor, Senator Panfilo M. Lacson, and we lift up to your eternal provisions the entire PNP institution and its leadership. Finally, we surrender ourselves into your divine mercy to keep us into the mystery of your salvation, especially in this trying time amidst the global emergency health crisis. Let your great love and mercy be greater than the COVID-19 pandemic. Grant all this in your most mighty name. Amen.
Master's pledge will be led by Police Colonel Mark Anthony Baum, Assistant Chief Social.
Manunumpa ng katapatan sa watawat ng Pilipinas. Nangyari lang taas po ang ating tanong kamay at sumunod sa aking dinisipin. Ako ay Pilipino, buong katapatang nanunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas at sa bansang kanyang sinasagitan. May bangal, katarungan at kalayaan na pinapikilos ng sabanang mga Diyos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa. Makibaba po ang ating tanong. Police officers state, please repeat after me. I will love and serve God, my country and people. I will uphold the Constitution and obey legal orders of the duly constituted authority. I will oblige myself to maintain a high standard of morality and professionalism. I will respect the customs and traditions of the police service. When I will lead a decent and virtuous life, to serve as an example to others.
Please be seated. As this is the launching of PNP One Network and PNP email system. To give us an overview, let us focus on the LED wall for the video presentation.
Ang PNP ICC Master Plan of Smart Policies ay isang akdang na naglalayang ng digital na pagbansang pulisya. Ang mga proyekto at programa ng paloob nito ay ilahat sa naganap na Digital Convention noong ika-2 ng Nobyembre taong 2019 sa Antipolo City, o mas kilala na Antipolo Digital. Ito ay nilangka ng mga direktor mula sa iba't ibang hanay ng pulisya. Ang Smart Policies Framework ay ang paggamit ng teknolohiya sa mabilis na pagpoproseso ng pambansang pulisya sa ligtas, mobile payment, at may kakayahang artificial intelligence recognition in real time. Isa sa ito ang pagpapatayo ng PNP Exclusive Network at ang pagbibigay ng email accounts na eksklusibo sa lahat ng miyembro ng PNP bilang opisyal na paraan ng pagkomunikasyon. Ang COVID-19 pandemic ay nagdulot ng malaking epekto sa paraan ng pagkomunikasyon mula sa mabagal na pagpunta sa email hanggang sa pagsusumiti ng records. Ito ay naging hadlang para sa mas produktimong pagharap sa business. Ininuksa ng PNP email system, isang mabilis, privado, customizable at ligtas sa sistema ng pakikipag-email. Ito ay compatible at maaari gamitin sa isang computer o mobile devices. Bawat isang miyembro ng PNP ay may personal email account na may laman ng kanilang pangalan at apelyido, sunod ang domain na @pnp.gov.ph. Ito ay maaari nilang magamit bilang pag-access sa mas masuyang PNP online system. Ang email solution na ito ay cloud-based email system PNP One Network ay tulad ng National Broadband Project, ngunit naglalayong pag-connectahin ang lahat ng opisina ng pulisya mula sa national headquarters, regional, provincial, lungsod at municipal. Sa kasalukuyan, ang PNP One Network ay mayroon ng sa Mini-4 Network at bahagyang nakapag-connecta na ng 17 regional offices at 3 major PNP units. Ito ay may kakayahang magbigay ng global internet traffic sa pamamagitan ng mga lokal na kumpanyang nagsasabisyon ng connection. Ang PNP One Network ay mayroong pinakamahusay na teknolohiya at isa sa natatanging mga ahensya ng gobyerno na nagkaroon ng sariling autonomous system. Ito ay ang mga Department of Finance, Social Security System, Government Service Assurance System, and Department of Science and Technology. Sa gayon, ang PNP One Network ay may pinakamaasahang koneksyon sa lahat ng hanay at opisina ng pulisya sa buong Pilipinas. Maaari itong magbigay ng data communications tulad ng digital radio, internet phone telephony, at video conferencing. Ang PNP One Network ay may kakayahan ng magbigay ng informasyon mula sa PNP system and applications tulad ng crime statistics, blotter, warrant, personal discipline data, at logistics. Pinagtibay din ng PNP ang kolaborasyon nito sa Philippine Open Internet Exchange na nagbibigay sa PNP One Network ng local network routes para sa ibang kasalukuyang gumagamit ng IP versions or handshakes. At para naman sa international network routes, gamit ang research network ng DOS at ng 3G network. Ito ay isang malaking hakbang upang pagtuloy ng pagdaigdigang issues sa internet protocol. The Philippine National Police, One Network, the frontliners hotline to the digital highway.
And now for the launching of PNP One Network. Displayed on the screen is the status of connectivity of the police regional offices. Currently, they are not connected as indicated by the red boxes. May we request the Chief PNP to rise as he officially launches all regional PNP One Network devices with his command to go digital. May we request the Chief PNP to rise as he officially launches with his command to go digital.
Okay, to the regional officers and regional offices, let's go digital.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Shown in the screen, all regional offices are now connected as indicated by the green boxes. The PNP One Network, the frontliners fast lane to the digital highway. At this point, the Chief PNP will log in to his PNP email account using a mobile phone with his email and password as shown on the screen. So shown on our screen is Chief PNP is trying to log in. There's an inbox, an email for the Chief PNP. Shown in the email inbox of the Chief PNP is an email sent by TDCITM thanking him for the directive to go digital and support the Two Smart Policing project. At this moment, may we request Police Major General Joselito Veracruz, TDCITM, to present a token of appreciation to the Chief PNP for supporting this endeavor. PNP email system, the realization of every PNP personal dream of having an official email account. Thank you very much, sir. Please be seated. Traditionally, retiring alumni of the Philippine Military Academy cherishes the opportunity to meet the cadet corps before they bow out from service and reminisce the past when they were also cadets. A testimonial parade and review is a simple gesture when compared to all the sacrifices and hard work they have given, anchored on the PMA virtues of courage, integrity, and loyalty. But the testimonial parade and review in Fort General Gregorio del Pilar, Baguio City was cancelled due to the pandemic. Hence, the awarding will be held and witnessed this morning here at Camp Brigadier General Rafael P. Grame, Quezon City. To present the award is Vice Admiral Alan Ferdinand Cusi, Philippine Navy, Superintendent, Philippine Military Academy. The lovely wives of our awardees are also requested to join them as they receive the awards. And at this point, may we request Captain Carl Bain Villares, Philippine Air Force, the Academy Adjutant, to read the citation of the awards.
Headquarters, Philippine Military Academy, Fort General Gregorio H. del Pilar, Baguio City. General Orders Number 195, 196, 197, 198, 199, 200, 201, and 202, dated 21 August 2020. Outstanding PMA Alumnus Award. Pursuant to HPMA Standard Operating Procedure Number 11, dated 10 June 2015, or otherwise known as Outstanding PMA Alumnus Award. In recognition of this distinguished service in various fields of endeavors and designations, and as Chief Philippine National Police, the Outstanding PMA Alumnus Award, Ulirang Alumnus ng Akademya, is hereby presented to Police General Archie Francisco F. Camboa, Officer DAS 02123, Philippine National Police.
The Chief of the Philippine National Police is requested to rise to receive the plaque from the Superintendent of the Philippine Military Academy. Mrs. Roseanne Gamboa is also requested to join the Chief of the Philippine National Police. The plaque is presented to the Chief of the Philippine National Police by the Superintendent of the Philippine Military Academy.
Life congratulations for your outstanding and selfless service to our nation for upholding PMA core values of courage, integrity, and loyalty. Congratulations.
The following mementos will also be given to the Chief of the Philippine National Police, the Del Pilar Statuette.
Yes.
The framed picture of the Chief of the Philippine National Police. Also the framed pictures of the PMA Class 2020.
Ito matindi to. Ito, nung plebo ka nito. Yung mga sinagot mo sa ano. Ayan o. State House West. First Church from PNP. Yan, tayo yan. Oo. Okay ba? Oo. See you. Ito pa. Graduation eh. Wala eh. Tayo eh.
And lastly, the military white frame picture will also be given to Mrs. Roseanne Peru on Gamboa. Thank you very much, Chief PNP and Mrs. Roseanne Gamboa.
In recognition of his distinguished service in various fields of endeavors and designations, and as the Deputy Chief for Administration, Philippine National Police, the outstanding PMA Alumnus Award ng Alumnus Academia is hereby presented to Police Lieutenant General Milio Alcatius Kksk, Officer DAS 05128, Philippine National Police.
Mrs. Amelia Cascolan is requested to join Police Lieutenant General Camilo Pangcasius Cascolan. The plaque will now be presented by the Superintendent of the Philippine Military Academy.
Honorable Year of Francis Pascola, on behalf of a grateful alma mater, I'd like to congratulate you for your outstanding and exemplary service to our nation, for upholding PNP core values of courage, integrity, and loyalty. Congratulations.
A good cup will likewise be presented to the Deputy Chief PNP for Administration. Thank you very much, sir. To our DCA and Mrs. Cascolan, kindly be seated.
In recognition of his distinguished fields of endeavors and designations, and as Director, Directorate for Personnel and Records Management, Philippine National Police, the outstanding PMA Alumnus Award ng Alumnus Academia is hereby presented to Police Major General Reynaldo GBI, Officer DAS 05682, Philippine National Police.
CDPRM is requested to rise and proceed in front to receive the plaque from the Superintendent of the Philippine Military Academy. Major General Reynaldo Digay will likewise receive his framed picture. Superintendent of the Philippine Military Academy will likewise hand over his blue cap. And of course, Mrs. DI will likewise receive the military wide frame picture, which will be received in behalf of her by Major General Reynaldo Diaz. Thank you very much, sir. TDPRM is now requested to kindly be seated.
In recognition, presented to Police Major General Elmo Francis O. Saron, Officer DAS 07454, Philippine National Police.
The Superintendent of the Philippine Military Academy will now present the plaque to Police Major General Elmo Francis Saron.
Honor and pride that I give the award. Thank you.
TDIDM will likewise receive his framed picture. Also his book and Mrs. Josephine. Thank you very much, PDIDM and Mrs. Verona. Kindly be seated.
In recognition of his distinguished service nation, as Director, Directorate for Human Resource and Document Development, Philippine National Police, the outstanding PMA Alumnus Award, National Academia, is hereby presented to Police Major General Amador P. Corpus, Officer DAS 01891, Philippine National Police.
The plaque will be presented by the Superintendent PMA to Police Major General Amador P. Corpus. The framed picture to Police Major General Amador P. Corpus will likewise be presented to him. A blue house will likewise be given to Police Major General Corpus. And now, Mrs. Victoria Corpus will likewise receive the military-wide framed picture. Thank you very much to the HRDD and Mrs. Corpus.
In recognition of his in various fields of endeavors and designations, and as Director, Directorate for Research and Development, Philippine National Police, the outstanding PMA Alumnus Award, National Academia, is hereby presented to Police Major General Timoteo G. Pacleb, Officer DAS 07436, Philippine National Police.
The plaque will be presented by the Superintendent PMA to Police Major General Timoteo Pacleb, the Director for Research and Development. Major General Paklet will likewise receive his framed picture. And his bull cup. The military white framed picture will likewise be presented to Mrs. Paklet, and it will be received by Police Major General Timoteo Paklet.
This milestone is a testimony of their exceptional leadership and dedication that brought honor to their proud alma mater. Given this 24th day of August 2020 at the National Headquarters, Philippine National Police, Brigadier General Rafael T. Crame, Quezon City, signed Alan Ferdinand P. Gusi, Vice Admiral, Philippine Navy, the Superintendent, Philippine Military Academy.
Technology, specifically on its database of PNP pensioners through the Pensioner Ko Sagot Ko project. Let us watch the prepared AVP.
Upon his assumption as the Chief of the Philippine National Police, Police General Archie Francisco Gamboa already has his eyes focused not just on the welfare of the active police officers, but also on the retirees and other pensioners as well. His words can be summed up with a statement: let us serve our pensioners with the same zeal and commitment that we protect our pension fund.
I have personally received some very encouraging feedback through my official Facebook account from members of the PNP retired sector, expressing their appreciation for the latest PNP initiative that seeks to look after the welfare of all PNP personnel, both active and retired.
This was embodied in PNP SOP 2020-001, which was published on February 3, and which provided the policies, guidelines, and procedures in the conduct of the regular accounting and monitoring of pensioners, and the periodic auditing of the pensioners' APA lists. As initial action in the implementation of the policies, the PRDES spearheaded the nationwide accounting of pensioners under Oplan Bilang from February 26 to March 16. Multiple sites and caravans were opened all over the country to update, take the biometrics, and cater to the other needs of pensioners, especially those who failed to update on their birth months in calendar year 2019. However, the activity was ceremoniously cancelled on March 13 due to the spread of the coronavirus disease. More than anything, the health of the pensioners who belong to the most vulnerable age groups was given priority consideration by the leadership. But this did not hold back the organization in accomplishing one of the focus directives of the Chief PNP, that is, to account all pensioners. Hence, a memo directive was issued by TVPRN on May 18 for the conduct of the modified nationwide accounting of pensioners. It was so modified to fit the new normal. The regional directors of the 17 police regional offices took the lead in organizing and deploying pensioner track care teams in search for the pensioners. The system provides that pensioners no longer need to go to PRDS regional units, but instead, the teams were dispatched to locate and account them in the very comforts of their home. This resulted in the discovery of a significant number of pensioners who are no longer qualified to receive pension, but were still included in the alpha list of pensioners receiving monthly pension. As such, the Chief PNP ordered the filing of cases against these unqualified pensioners. Other corrective measures were also set in motion to insulate and further protect the pension fund. The Chief PNP forged ahead and continued against the FEMNA, with the cooperation and support of the whole police hierarchy. Thus, this of the Pensioner Call Sagot Project, or PKSK. The concept is to match or pair an active PNP personnel to a pensioner as bodies. Each active personal body shall then regularly monitor the health, wellness, and condition of his or her pensioner body, and in the process, account for more frequently. PKSK is designed to be gender sensitive, rank appropriate, and geographically aligned. Police lieutenant colonels down to patrolmen and women from the command group and all directorates of the national headquarters, all national support units, and the 17 police regional offices were issued designation orders by TDPRM and the regional directors to carry out these mandatory admin control duties. Now, PNP pensioners no longer need to go outside their homes, but instead, they are being served right at their very doorsteps. With the regional directors at the helm once more, the second phase, which calls for the initial contact, wellness check, and visitation by all the active personal body, has already been accomplished in all corners of the country. PKSK also caters to pensioners already living abroad through the help of the police attaches around the globe under the Directorate for Intelligence. Positive feedbacks were all over the social media since the first day of PKSK, and is still receiving very high approval from pensioners all over the country. This is truly a unique and a major breakthrough in the PNP pension system, as this is the first step to prevent fund leakages. More so, it streamlines and eases government processes in compliance with the orders of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Truly, a lusty and a remarkable legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the Pensioner Call Sagot Project.
Thank you for that presentation. We shall now witness the ceremonial pinning of the official Kksk pin. Through Zoom platform, may we request our honored guest to kindly attach the Kksk pin, which signifies that he is already officially accounted to the Kksk project. May we also request Senator Lacson to show us to the screen his newly issued PNP ID, as he is now officially registered as a PNP Pensioners Database to this project as well. Thank you, sir. And in turn, our honored guest has already accomplished the requirements in updating his records with the PNP. To hand over his signed documents, may we request the active personal body of Senator Lacson, Police Lieutenant Colonel Harold Cuesta, to proceed in front. May we request the Chief PNP, together with TDPRM, Police Major General Reynaldo BI, and Acting Director PRBS, Police Colonel Arthur Bisnar, to receive the accomplished documents of Senator Lacson. Thank you, sir. Please be seated. Meanwhile, let us focus our attention at the screen. From Luzon, Pro 2, our pensioners are Police Lieutenant Colonel Rodolfo Brillantes. He is also a PRI President. And Police Executive Master Sergeant Teodorico Kakaitan Joshua. To attach the Kksk pin are Police Captain Belchor Agabao Jr. and Police Staff Sergeant J. Andrada Joshua.
Laki naman.
Thank you very much. Pro 2. From Visayas, Pro 7. Our pensioners are Police Major General Lanio Neres and Police Executive Master Sergeant Jesus Moga Jr. To attach the PKSK pin, our Police Major Gerard A. Pelare and Police Staff Sergeant Joseph Jungal. Thank you, Pro 7. And from Pro 10, Mindanao, our pensioners are Police Lieutenant Colonel Evangeline Pupos and Police Master Sergeant Felix Macasate. To attach the pin are Police Master Sergeant Elenito Nacua and Police Staff Sergeant Marilyn Bagwal. Thank you very much for your participation. In line with this project, the Philippine National Police Foundation Incorporated, or PNPFI, through our honored guest as Chairman of the Board, will CT equipment and ergo office equipment to the Philippine National Police. May we request the Chief PNP, together with CDPRM and AD-PRBS, to rise and receive the donations consisting of 25 units of desktop computers and ergo office equipment from PNPFI. This will be used by PRBS specifically for the Pensioner Ko Sagot Ko project. Also, the Chief PNP will issue another 20 units of computers and printers to PRBS in support for this project. The Acting Director of PRBS will receive the donation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Philippine National Police Foundation Incorporated, for your donations. Please be seated. Congratulations, PRBS family. And now, let us hear the
Police Lieutenant General Gilor Elizar, our Chief Directorial Staff, Police Lieutenant General Cesar Binag, and of course, our special guest, all the way from Baguio City, Mike Test, from Alpha Company, Vice Admiral Alan Cusi, to the different members of the directorial staffs, the regional directors and directors of the national support units who are joining us virtually, to the Officers Ladies Club led by my wife, Twinkle, and the rest. Please stand. Please stand para makita kayo sa TV. Ayan. Thank you. And of course, our special guest, Tita Donna. To the other senior officers of the Philippine National Police, Police Commissioned Officers, non-commissioned officers, non-uniformed personnel, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. With the indulgence of our guest of honor and speaker, allow me first share my gratitude to Team PNP today, as we have accomplished and achieved great milestones in the successful launching of Pensioner Ko Sagot Ko project by PRBS and the launching of the PNP email system and PNP One network by TDI-CTM. My special thanks and congratulations, of course, to General Ato Pisnar of PRBS, and General Jojo Veracruz of ICT. For putting into motion, I commend all the men and women involved in making these projects a reality. Congratulations and keep up the good work. This will not also be possible without the help of our stakeholders that are generous in supporting the endeavor of the PNP. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. For the presentation of awards for the PMA Alumnus, I must say that I am somehow happy but nostalgic at the same time. Reminiscing the past 30 years back as if it just happened yesterday. I vividly remember the 4 long years that I have gone through as a cadet and as a member of Alpha Company in the very hallowed grounds of Philippine Military Academy. It was in the year 1982 that I started my journey and become part of PMA's Sinagkala class of 1986. Like Senator Ronald Bato del Rosa, my mista, I am also a provinciano from Mindanao. Stepping inside the Fort del Pilar in Baguio City is like entering a new world. The cold and fresh breeze in that place was something refreshing and somewhat new for the Bukidnon native like me. As the title of the song, it's a long, winding road. The road to success inside the academy was tough, physically and mentally. But I prepared myself to become much tougher, overcoming all the challenges that they made me put through. I believe this holds true also to my co-awardees, the Deputy Chief PNP for Administration, Police Lieutenant General Camilo Pancrasius Cascolan, the Director for Records NYP, the Director for Records and Management, Police Brigadier Major General Reynaldo Villa from Delta Company. Of course, we could have been joined also by wife Harriet, the Director for Research and Development, Police Major General Timoteo G. Paclet from Echo Company. We could have also been joined by wife Jenny, the Director for Investigation and Detective Management, Police Major General Elmo Francis Serona from Foxtrot Company, and wife Joam. The Director for Human, let us stand out from the rest. It also inculcated commitment, discipline, patience, and perseverance, and teamwork in all of us. May thy sons ever be men of integrity, courage, and loyalty. PMA, O hail to thee. O lead to righteous way, those solid ranks of gray, thy virtues to display. Academy, O hail to thee. As I sometimes hum our PNP hymn through my mind, these are my favorite lines that embody what we are made for. It should always be a reminder on each of us the honor code and what PMA stands for. Buong puso kaming nagpapasalamat sa Philippine Military Academy, ang aming alma mater, na nagbubog sa amin upang maging tapat na tagapaglingkod ng ating bayan at sa sambayanang Pilipino. On behalf of my co-awardees, my mistas, Picoy, Ray, Tim, Maymay, and Dong, I would like to thank Vice Admiral Alan Ferdinand Cusi for presenting us the outstanding PMA Alumnus Award, Ulirang Alumnus ng Akademya. As we will hang our respective uniforms in the nearest future, we will be coming back in our respective families and homes with a lighter heart, knowing that we have given half of our lives in the service of our country and to the Filipino people with honor, pride, and dignity, leaving a blueprint and a legacy to the next generations of PMA cadets and to the men and women of the Philippine National Police. Muli,
Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. At this time, allow me now to take this privilege to introduce our co-alumnus. Our guest of honor and speaker, a member of the Matatag class of 1971 of the Philippine Military Academy, is a distinguished servant leader in our country. He is best known for his distinctive motto, "What is right must be kept right, what is wrong must be set right." A personal credo he has faithfully observed in his more than 40 years of public service. His rise to national consciousness started when he solved high-profile crimes, including kidnap ransom cases in the 1980s and the 1990s. In 1999, he was tasked to head the Philippine National Police, which under his watch enjoyed a revival of its glory days, along with the highest public approval ratings in its history. In 2001, he earned a Senate seat where he continued to show his no-nonsense brand of leadership. He exhibited his consistent and unflinching resolve, particularly in his call to scrap the Pork Barrel Fund, then known as the Priority Development Fund Assistance, Philippine Priority Development Assistance Fund, or the PDAF, as early as 2003. A full 10 years before the pork barrel scam involving Janet Lim Napoles exploded in the Filipino people's collective faces. He also made sure his 200 million a year PDAF entitlement was turned over to the National Treasury. While in the Senate, he also led a sturdy crusade against graft and corruption, as evidenced by the bills he filed and the exposés he made of anomalous transactions that marred our public institutions. During the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th Congresses from 2001 to 2013, he authored or co-authored landmark legislations including the Anti-Money Laundering Law and amendments thereto, the Anti-Human Trafficking Act of 2001, Anti-Red Tape Act of 2007, Revised AFP Modernization Program, Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health, and sin tax or the excise tax on alcohol and tobacco. In the aftermath of Super Typhoon Yolanda, international name Haiyan, that caused widespread destruction, damage, and death in central Philippines, he was appointed Presidential Assistant to the Rehabilitation and Recovery with the inviolable mandate of unifying the rehabilitation recovery efforts of government and the private sector. Despite limited authority and government resources, his office crafted an 8-volume, 8,000-page comprehensive rehabilitation and recovery plan with a 160 billion proposed funding in a record 6 months. His efforts in the Yolanda rehabilitation led to the institutionalization of essential mechanisms that assisted calamity-affected communities in building back better, faster, and safer. In the 2016 elections, the Filipino people again entrusted him with the Senate seat. As a member of the 17th Congress, he continues to safeguard public interest and fight corruption, particularly by shielding the national budget from pork and other machinations, so it can truly spur inclusive growth for Filipinos. He continues to advance his legislative agenda to initiate programs on budget reform and village empowerment, transparency and public accountability, anti-graft and corruption, and public order and security. Among the laws he authored and or sponsored in the 17th Congress are the Act establishing the Philippine Identification or National ID System, or Republic Act 11055, which provides for easier transactions with the government and private entities and which helps deter criminality. the Free Irrigation Law or Republic Act 10969, the Anti-Hazing Law of 2018, Republic Act 11053, the law restoring the subpoena powers of the Philippine National Police Criminal Investigation Detection Group or Republic Act 10973, and the act providing for the rank classification in the Philippine National Police or Republic Act 11200. He also had a key role in crafting the law amending the Anti-Money Laundering Act to include casinos as covered persons, and Joint Resolution number 01 that authorized the increase in the base pay of military and uniformed personnel in government. In the 18th Congress, the laws he authored and or sponsored include Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020 or Republic Act 11479, Bayanihan Bill Act Aswan, Republic Act 1469, and the Good Manners and Right Conduct, GMRC, and Values Education Act or Republic Act 11476. To this day, he remains an untiring, tenacious watchdog of the national budget, making sure dubious congressional insertions and useless appropriations, aka pork, are checked and deleted from plenary debates. Because of his continued crusade against wrongdoing, particularly against the pork barrel system in all its iterations, the pamantasan ng lungsod ng Manila, where he earned his master's degree in government management, conferred on him last March 27 the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, a distinction that inspires him to remain committed to excellence in public service. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a warm welcome to one of our own from the Philippine Military Academy and from the Philippine National Police, the Honorable Senator Angelo M. Lacson.
Thank you very much. The Chief of the Philippine National Police, Police General R.T. Gamboa, members of the command group, and the Director of the Staff, this morning's recipient of the PNP Foundation Incorporated's donation, the PNP Retirement and Benefit Administration Service, led by the Director, Police Colonel Arthur Bisnar, the uniformed and non-uniformed men and women of the PNP. The award is the much coveted Outstanding PMA Alumnus Award. For your information, I was also a proud member of Alpha Company of the Cadet Corps Armed Forces of the Philippines. A pleasant morning to all of you. Historian and 19th century diplomat Washington Irving once said, and I quote, "Little minds are tamed and subdued by misfortune, but great minds rise above them." Over the past months, we have been confronted by a series of misfortunes brought about by a health crisis that caught the whole world unsuspecting, literally altering the way we have known to live our lives. From the time that the government has imposed community quarantine, our police forces have been standing side by side along with our medical frontliners in serving and protecting our people from an invisible but deadly enemy. One that is unfamiliar yet so treacherous that even law enforcers such as yourselves cannot let your guards down. Amidst the far-reaching consequences of the pandemic, we are celebrating significant milestones of the PNP as an institution. The spread of the coronavirus may have put the world into a standstill, but never are men and women's willpower to push for meaningful agenda and reforms, thereby affirming the prudent words of Washington Irving that great minds do really rise above adversity. Hence, when I learned that Police Colonel Bisnar assumed the lead of the PNP Retirement and Benefits Administration Service, I already knew that we are on course for something transformative. Known as a stickler for discipline, a genuine agent of change, a reformist, and a leader of unflinching moral ascendancy, pensioners such as myself know for sure that everyone's best interest would be his top priority. In fact, when Colonel Bisnar requested the PNP Foundation Incorporated through this representation as its chairman to donate some IT equipment, I knew he wanted to jumpstart the computerization of the PRBS since the usual bureaucratic delay that normally attends government procurement, with the objective of properly accounting and cleansing the list of pensioners and preserve the integrity of the police retirement system. Earlier this year, Auckland Bilang was launched to account for all pensioners nationwide, followed by what is now called Track Care Team, who, amid the pandemic, were able to reach out to tens of thousands of our pensioners to update and collect their records. For those who are in the far-flung corners of the country, afflicted by health conditions, and have no means to accomplish documentary requirements for their pensions, the program is so much of a relief. Para na rin nabunutan ng tinik sa lalamunan, kasama ko ako. And the good news continues with the unprecedented challenges that come along with the new normal. The Pensioner Kksk program is a responsive approach in advancing the welfare of our pensioners, who, not to mention, belong to the most at risk and vulnerable, especially in these trying times. This program also brings forward an opportunity to revitalize the unique sense of camaraderie and fellowship between and among the 243,809 active personnel and the more than 90,000 pensioners of the PNP. From a viewpoint of a legislator, I must say that this is an out-of-the-box initiative that also upholds the sacred tenets of transparency and accountability in terms of handling our public funds. Allow me to share, in 2017, being one of the principal authors of Joint Resolution Number 1 in the Senate, which sought to authorize the increase in the base pay of military and other uniformed personnel, or MUPs, I manifested both during the committee hearings and in plenary that I would donate to the PNP Foundation Incorporated whatever amount would be generated by my retirement pay differential during the entire period of the 17th Congress, if and when the legislative measure would be enacted into law within that time frame. Since by increasing the base pay, the retirement benefits would also increase. It was also to preclude possible conflict of interest on my part in actively pushing for the said legislation. And I did exactly that. I am now happy and proud with the thought that part of the foundation money used in buying items being donated to PRBS this morning came from my retirement pay. As I already mentioned, among those who are benefiting from the increase of the base pay are the retired MUPs of the Philippine National Police, along with the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Bureau of Fire Protection, and Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. Data from the DBM show that for the year 2019, about 41.9 billion was already released to 91,913 pensioners, INP and PNP alike, while over 24.1 billion pesos was appropriated as of July 2020. Needless to say, the very nature of this fund makes it susceptible to manipulation and abuse. You know, for somebody who has just spent the last 2 weeks crunching and scrutinizing the issues of fraud and anomalies that beset PhilHealth, which is our state health insurance, perpetuated by the cunning few who would go leaps and bounds to manipulate billions from the public coffers. It is literally a breath of fresh air to witness innovative solutions that reinforce our unflinching resolve against the evils of corruption. Moving forward, I understand the need to address the ballooning fund requirements for separation, retirement, and pensions of the MUP. Pending in the legislative bill, the Senate Bill number 1419, entitled Military and Uniformed Personnel Services Separation, Retirement, and Pension Act of 2020. Rest assured that I am with you in ensuring that adequate benefits and remunerations are provided for men and women in uniform. It is said that modern technology has become the defining force of a new social order, in which efficiency is no longer an option, but a necessity imposed on all human activity. With the launch of the PNP One Network, a nationwide initiative that connects all PNP offices in a singular backbone, the Filipino public can expect higher efficiency in our police force's performance of its ultimate duty, that is to serve and protect. Mula Batanes hanggang Bolo, ika nga ng grupo ng aming leader sa Senado, mas mabilis at mabisang serbisyo publiko ang aasahan ng ating mga kababayan mula sa hanay ng ating kapulisan sa pagsisimula ng PNP One Network. Being one of only 5 agencies that rolled out the use of autonomous systems using border gateway control, we are confident that the PNP is in the right direction in leveraging technology as a powerful tool for good governance and meaningful progress. In addition, the combination of the PNP email system, which serves as a secure and reliable digital communications platform for all official correspondence of the PNP units and individual PNP personnel, is a testament to the institution's unwavering tenacity to rise above the inevitable demands of the new normal. All this being said, I give my snappy salute to the men and women of the PNP who are behind this endeavor. We know that good governance takes place when we have well-intentioned people who bring their ideas, experiences, and strengths to the table. The PNP is fortunate to have transformative officers through the leadership of Chief PNP Archie Gamboa, who remain committed to our collective aim of serving no one but the Filipino people. At this point, I want to express my sincerest gratitude to all of you for having me here this morning. I wish you all the best. Mabuhay ang Philippine National Police.
Thank you, Senator. Please be seated. We highly appreciate the time given by our honored guest, and in behalf of the Philippine National Police, the Chief PNP has sent a memento to the guest of honor and speaker as a warm gesture of appreciation to Senator Panfilo Lacson as the virtual guest of honor and speaker for this morning. Thank you, sir, for joining us virtually at this activity. Thank you, sir. All right, please. Thank you for your time. That concludes our activity. Let's have a productive week. Stay safe. Good morning.
Thank you very much.